Okay. Hello, welcome. I see it says I have a few viewers. So if you are here, it's 3 minutes to the hour. If you're here, just go ahead and say hi and let me know that you're here and that this thing is working. Okay, Pink October. Hi, how are you? I recognize the alias. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I do want to I want to ask a quick question to you ladies. Let me post it in the chat. And really the question is, during this season, have you tried online dating? Or have you reopened your account, spiffed up your profile? If you have, I would love for you to post and just share about your experience. What has your experience been now since we've been in a period of quarantine? And if not, why not? I'm just curious. Oh, Angel J say, hi, Monique. I can consider you my fairy godmother. How endearing. Thank you so much. Thanks for helping me get my mind together. You're most welcome. Saw the post and said, the Lord is confirming it. Confirming what? Tell me more. Miss Awesome Miss T. Tell me more about that. Also, I have my little mic here. Let me know if the sound is clear. You know, how is the audio on this? VIRUS quarantine. TINE. If so, I'm typing how's your experience. We're going to start real soon. If not, why not? Okay. The audio is good. Thank you. It's clear. Hey, Cynthia. All the women I've met were scammers. Well, this Rory, I'm assuming you're a guy, but this live stream is really targeted towards women of faith who really want to. Hey, Kim from Detroit, women of faith who really want to step more into their own lives. But I'm happy that you're here. Okay, not comfortable with online dating. Gotcha. So right when we get started, focused on your new business. Already smash the like button. Yes, thank you so much. So before we begin I want to encourage you to invite just two women that you know to the live stream. Because guess what? You know what I say, when we share, we add value. So if you believe in your heart, like, don't be selfish. You know, if there's someone that you think could really benefit from this and you just want to invite them to join the conversation, especially now in this moment where we are really desiring more safety, more connection, more, just more involvement. It's a really great time to like get this party started here now, because we're going to be talking about, how to prepare for what's next. Love after lockdown. So Awesome Miss T said, I made a post on my IG page saying many of us won't be single anymore after this quarantine. Yes, people are ready to mingle. God is using this time to prepare people's hearts. Yes, so this is confirmation. Yes, absolutely. Okay. As you ladies know, if you hear me out of breath, it's because I'm 7 months pregnant. Here's the bump. What's this? So baby girl is doing well. And I'm on my stability ball. So if you see me jumping up and down, that's why. I'm going to try to be as stable as possible, because I know that it can be really distracting. Whew. But yeah, let's get into it. So it's 6:01 p.m. Welcome, welcome. I always get excited when I do live streams and also a little bit nervous because it's like I'm not just talking in front of a camera, it's in front of you ladies, but I'm happy that I don't feel alone because I see all of you wonderful women in the chat box. So this is good. This is great. How can you invite someone? I don't even know how to do that. Share the link with them. Yeah, share the link with them. Send them a message to say, hey, I'm joining this chat. Tell them why you think they would benefit and you think they'll like it and just come on and join. And if not, then maybe they can watch the recording. Okay, so I've already prayed over this live, yesterday. So let me go ahead and get started. So really, it's sort of been in my spirit, and I'm going to stop looking at the chat for now. I still want you ladies to comment, but just so that I'm not distracted, I got to put it away for a moment. But really, yesterday, so I said in my email, I said yesterday, I had to get out the house. Like I can only Netflix and chill for so much time, and I haven't watched. I've tuned into She Did That. I tuned into Queen Sono, which I absolutely enjoyed. I've tuned into Self-Made. I have not gotten into Love Is Blind. If you've seen that yet, John and I, my husband and I, caught up on the last season of Game of Thrones. And so. But I wanted something different. I was like, if I hear something else about COVID, if I hear something else about the coronavirus, like another email. Like I like to watch the news to keep up with what's going on. I'm just not interested right now. And let me say this because I don't want to be flippant. I first of all also want to give acknowledgement to the frontline workers. I went to the doctor today. I had my prenatal appointment, got my Tdap shot for whooping cough, and there was because a nurse who was there that I hadn't seen before. And so, I just acknowledged her for being there because they are also doing a rotation. Before I had actually gone into the doctor's office, one of the staff members had to take my temperature. So I'm saying to say that this is not a moment for me. I'm not trying to, I totally sympathize and empathize. Like my heart goes out for it. But I also know that there is a rainbow after the storm. Like trouble won't last always, and this too shall pass. So to go back to, so if you are a nurse, if you are any kind of frontline worker, if you work in an industry where, business is still moving and going, maybe you're just working from home. But like, people who are nurses who are maybe working in the CVS, they work at the pharmacy or whatever it is, when you see that person from your love, like tap your heart and just send that person good love and send that person good energy. Because it's so needed right now. And what I know is that fear really weakens the immune system. So in this time, something big is about to hit. So to go back to what I was saying originally, yesterday I just took a stroll. I was like, I need to get out the house. I want something different. And I just went to Starbucks and picked up my little chai tea latte and got John a white chocolate mocha with raspberry, venti. So I drove around and then I ended up just kind of parking in this parking lot. And I think like Planet Fitness or some LA Fitness or something was like, I was looking at it, the building that was in front of me. And then the sun just was beaming down on me and I felt the warmth of it. And so I'm there. I think I was listening to an audiobook, either Codependent No More. I think I was listening to Codependent No More. That's what I'm reading right now, actually. So, I was there just listening to it, and then something got a jolting in my spirit. I switched from that and really listened to a podcast. And I was like, wow, I'm really inspired to make a quick video right now. But my appearance wasn't really on point. And I was like, I can't do this to the people right now. So I said, okay, let me pause. And then all the ideas just started to come, like something massive is happening. Like this is the moment, not only in the church, not only in the kingdom, not only in our government and global politics, but something is like massive is happening right now. And I don't want to miss it. And I don't want you to miss it. And so there are different teams that are happening right now. There are different ideologies that are being pushed. And this is not the time to be messy or disorderly or anything like that. I'm here to talk about what is it going to take for you to prepare yourself for what's really happening next so that you actually get what it is that you want. Okay? Now, I was even challenged calling this, love after lockdown. And I say this because I want to encourage you also to empower yourself with conscious language. What I mean by that is like the lockdown, the isolation, the social distancing, all of those phrases and terms can really create more anxiety and really wreak havoc on our system, on our hearts, and especially if you're unpartnered, if you're a single woman, the isolation can feel really daunting, especially if you're an extroverted woman. So, I like to use this time, and I want you to consider this as an opportunity to begin to nest, to be in your safety zone, to see yourself and really see this as an opportunity to be in a cocoon so that ultimately you will emerge a butterfly. Okay, so let me check I'm feeling a sense of wanting to connect, so I'm just checking the live stream. Yeah, so I see a lot of people are working at USPS. Absolutely. Thank you very much for the acknowledgement. Yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and do post them. I'm going to use an opportunity towards the end because I really want this to be about engagement to see how I can address some of those questions in the end. Okay. So, like I said, this is a time to really begin to press forward, towards the mark of the high calling. Because, like I said, I don't know what's happening. I'm doing my part, but I don't want to miss out because I'm living in fear, or I'm saying I don't want to watch the news, or I don't want to do whatever it is. Now is the time for me to really for you to get really clear on what it is that you want next. Now, if how about this? So some of you, if they have not already, have had men come out the woodwork. Maybe not now that there's a heightened state of quarantine, but let's say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I would love to hear, like, if someone from your past just kind of reached out to you from the blue, just say, yes, girl, or something like that. And I'm saying that because, they might check in and see how you're doing, see if you need anything, see if your kids are all right, see if, what you got up for tonight. And if you haven't had that experience, if that has not happened to you, that's cool too. Okay. So just based on the quick survey that I just asked about the online dating, some of you may have tried online dating. You feel like you wanted to refresh your profile, you tried the dating apps, but guess what? It's still not really your thing, and nothing much has changed. Because rather than talking about how you can date during this coronavirus, how you can date during, quarantine, just based on my research and what I've seen, it's like, that's kind of boring to me. It's time to look forward to what you can be doing next. And so what I'm seeing in terms of dating during dating during the coronavirus, dating during the quarantine, is that, maybe you thought that the conversations would be meaningful. Like, there's more volume, but there's a difference between chit-chatting with a lot of people and really having meaningful conversations. So let me tune in really quickly to see if I'm making sense here. Okay. It's easy to really misinterpret interest from others. And what I want you to know is that if you're not ready, if you're not prepared, once things return to normal, you're going to experience a sense of void. If you don't start acting now, if you don't really start employing the steps that I really want to share with you today. And I know that this could really feel hard, and maybe you're just like, Monique, maybe my job has been furloughed, or someone, maybe you're not able to be with family, or someone who's been impacted by the coronavirus, and you just feel like maybe you should put everything on pause. And so you might even be feeling conflicted. I mean, how are you feeling? Tell me, how are y'all feeling right now? That's what I really want to know. Okay, someone online scene was scary. Dorothy met someone new March 14th. Okay, how did you meet, Dorothy? More of a connection. I would love to know, like, what's your, like, how are you feeling now just about just the state of everything? Are you like, I'm ready for this to be over? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel um, anxiety? So, yeah, you're great. Okay. So people out here still going to church? Meet at the park. Okay. So from what I'm gathering, you're not really that much impacted by what's happening right now. Thank you for sharing, Dorothy. Met at the car wash. Okay, cool. What I'm gathering is that you're not really impacted by what's happening. hmm Noticing your weaknesses. Yes, 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 yes. So, what I want to say to you ladies is that I want you right now to think about where you want to be within the next 90 days. So right now it's the end of March. It's the end of first quarter. It's already hot. It's like I don't know, 65, 70 degrees here in St. Louis, Missouri. Once this thing lifts, let me tell you, once this thing lifts and things begin to return to normal, like this is a time where you really want to start preparing for your awesome love, preparing for your awesome life, preparing to become the woman that you have always wanted to be and you really desired to be, but maybe you felt that you weren't qualified. Maybe you felt like you weren't confident enough. Maybe you felt like you're too old. Whatever it is that could be stopping you right now, now is a time when there's less distraction to begin to focus on that, to prepare for love, not only the love of a man, but the love of yourself, so that you're showing up with more confidence, you're showing up with more ease, you're showing up with more feminine allure. All right. So um, this is the time specifically to figure out who you are and become a mirror for what it is that you want to attract in both love and life. Because I find myself getting frustrated when I hear that, the men are inconsistent. Um, they say that they're a Christian, but yet they sleeping with another woman last week. They do this and they do that. And I'm like, well, how are you showing up? The Bible says that the Christian woman can pray for her non-believing husband. It's not the words that you speak and how you're going to call a man out that's going to change things. It's the way that you live your life. It's about you being a living testimony. It's about the virtue and the way that you live that will inspire and impel a man to step up to the next level. Even if he says something like, well, I'm ready for a relationship, but no, what are men saying? What did I hear? Um, I'm kind of open or taking things slow, right? If you're just focused on the words and focusing on the outcome, right, in your what I call your executive energy, you will not get what you want because you're showing up with this professionalism. You're showing up with too much executive energy rather than connecting and being present in the moment and getting clear on what it is that you want. Okay, so I know this can feel really hard. And before I continue, I do want you to post your challenges. Like, what are some of your challenges that you're experiencing right now? So, is it that you're not meeting men? Is it that the men that you are meeting are just duds? Tell me, when it comes to your feminine allure, when it comes to love, what is your number one challenge right now? Go ahead and post that. All right, so I'm hearing challenges are I'm not meeting quality men. Challenges are his communication. Challenges are I don't go anywhere. Okay. The men I meet seem great until I get too invested. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that how it feels? It's like everything is all great till you get a little attached. That's when that whimsical nature starts to fall down, and it's like, hold up. We can go into a little anxiety, a little frustration, a little concern. All right, I'm not choosing the right quality one for me. Yeah, unavailable man. He didn't tell you. I'm sure that there were signs. I wonder, like, there's got to be some signs now. When you deal, if you find out that a man is not married, or man is maybe like unless he's separated, I'm not meeting quality men, taking, getting out there, healing process, not meeting the connection. Okay. So what I'm hearing is Coming off as too serious. Yeah. Will I catch it from him, or will he catch it from me? What you talking about? You're meeting someone, it starts off great, then boom, all of a sudden getting dumped during text. Meet men. The men I meet are not emotionally available. I want faithfulness, not loyalty. Yes, there's a difference. Okay. Choosing between what I think I want and maybe what I think I need. Okay. Yeah. So getting his mind on marriage without me mentioning it. Yeah. Commitment is given to the woman who requires it. And there's a certain language and way that you show up, and the way that you speak to a man, in the way that he can hear you, and being in choice to give you what you need. So I'm hearing, where are the men? I'm not meeting them. The ones that I do meet aren't really available. It starts off great and then it goes down. So, okay, cool. So I wanted to make sure that what I was thinking and based on my own internal research is what you are actually saying, and it's true to your own experience. Yeah, so when you get in a relationship, fear of losing your own independence, fear of losing your personal peace. It's like, what happens when your world is turned upside down? How are you going to manage that? Right? You like that independence. I totally get that. Okay. Okay, Linda Scott, I hear you. So ladies, if you find that men not wanting to get tested for STDs, yeah. They don't come over and say anything. Haven't been interested in anyone when I got out, or not feeling the connection. When I go out, okay, when you go out, because I was about to be like, where you tabbing 202? I'm like, where you get out from? Okay, when you go out. So I want you to think about why. Like, why is this really happening? What's really stopping you from having what you want? Because the truth is that if you continue with this, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out because you weren't showing up for yourself. You're going to miss out because you weren't sending out the right attraction signals. You're going to miss out because you gave up. And I know that's not what you want, or you wouldn't be watching this right now. So, what is it going to take right now? Well, if you're comfortable, if it feels good to you, I would encourage you to start, refresh your Hinge app, or on make whatever dating app is out there that appeals to you. I would encourage you to just try it out right now if it feels good to you. If it doesn't, there's no pressure. And I'm saying that because it really is a great time just to have meaningful conversations and like really try to engage with someone. But at the same time, know that there are a lot of game players out there, because it becomes a numbers game in times like this. So it really depends on your vibe and how you're showing up in a way that's gonna impact the results that you get in terms of how men are responding to you. Okay, this is really a time to reinvent yourself, ladies. Okay, it's really a time to reinvent yourself. And one of the things that came up for me is that there are so many skills that you can do. There are external skills and there are internal skills. And as I move forward, I'm going to do some different videos and go back to what I was doing before and giving you like some external skills and what you can start doing right now. So before I even share that with you, I want you to start with this. So this is step 1. Can you see this? It says know what you want. Let me know really quickly if you're seeing it backwards or if it's good and clear. Is it a good time to seek out a relationship? You don't seek a relationship. The question is have you decided that a relationship is what you want? Right? So we have to begin by asking the quality questions. You don't want to seek out a relationship, because what happens is that you begin to put pressure on yourself, on a man, on your situation, how you're showing up, how you're dressing. And that already is coming with a lot of pressure. And you're not going to get what you want from that place. Is it a good time to connect with someone? Is it a good time to start creating options? Is it a good time to like start meeting someone? Yeah. Is it a good time to seek out a relationship? No. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So step 1, ladies, right now, what I want you to start doing is start getting clear on what you want. Know what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you're going to get what you don't know. Did that even make sense? You're going to get confusion. So in terms of this, I want to introduce you to the feminine allure process. So knowing what you want right now in the season. And it's not about, oh, I want a man who's tall. I want a man who's committed. I want a man who calls me. I want a man who's a Christian. Why is all of that important to you? Okay. One of the activities that I have my clients do when they work with me in my programs is that we get really, really clear. Like I take them through this matrix and we get clear. And so, for example, if like I know you want a Christian, like you want a godly man, you want someone who's Christian. Most of the women that I work with, I should say, why is that important to you, right? What's the fear if he's not a Christian? And then you want to get into what do you really value? Like, what do you really want to feel and experience? Okay. That's what I mean by going in. That's what I mean when I say get clear on what you want in a way that goes beyond your list. When I walk my clients through this activity, I mean, so much comes up. Okay. So if you say, hey, Monique, I want a Christian man because I want to be equally yoked. No, you say you want a Christian man. Okay. So the fear is that if he's not Christian, you're not going to be equally yoked, or that he won't respect your boundaries. Um, and that you will probably be practicing fornication. Let's just call it out, right? And so maybe that's not what you want. But instead of that, it's really about turning your fears into a desire. So it's getting clear. It's like, hey, I want somebody that I can pray with. I want somebody that I feel totally comfortable with, someone who's going to accept me and not think that I'm crazy. That's what we're starting with. That's where you want to know what you want. Okay? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, let me know. The second thing that you have to do right now is that you want to start practicing conquering your inner game. So this is where it goes to the external and the internal skills. So, when I work with women in the Feminine Allure Academy or any of my other program, conquering the inner game is oh my gosh. Let me tell you, this is major. This is like 90% of the work. This is 90% of the work, having the mindset to actually get what you want. Because the truth is, I could teach you all the strategies. A lot of the women who want to work with me don't come to me to say, hey, I want this strategy. They want a new way of being. They want a new way of showing up for themselves, and therefore for like the type of men that they're going to attract. They're tired of the nonsense. So there are certain things that you can do, for example, externally. Like many of you have asked, well, Monique, what's your skincare regimen? What's your beauty regimen? I'm going to make a video on that. I'm going to do an updated video on that because, I think the last time that I had done one was like 10 years ago. So, when I do my nails, I feel so good. It's like, when I can't see me, man. When I do my nails, I just feel like a new woman. So that's something that's going to help me to feel good externally and therefore help me feel good on the inside. Now, there are certain things that you can do. You can start from the inside. There's a prayer practice, right? There are certain breathing techniques. There are certain mindset techniques. There are different alluring woman mantras that I teach that help you to shift your mindset from the inside out. But sometimes you have to work from the outside in terms of your hair, in terms of your makeup, because guess what? A woman's image is her calling card to great things. And people do take us seriously when we look good. Okay, so that's only half the battle though, like the external part. And then you have your spiritual and your romantic skills. But guess what? You have to feel empowered to know that this is for you. You got to conquer that inner game. You got to tend to that inner landscape. And now is the time to do it. Maybe right now you can start by journaling. Say, God, what do you want me to do? And then ask yourself, Monique, like, what do you want to do? Sometimes I want to say, don't put the pressure on God. He's been speaking all the time. What do you want to do? What do you want for yourself? It's time to really quiet down. It's time to get clear. It's time to listen to the whispers. It's time to attune yourself to the beauty around you. I hear you've been exercising. Yeah. I see that there's a lag here. So I'm seeing that. Yeah, you want someone to cover you in prayer. No spiritual warfare. Yeah. So so conquering the inner game is step 2, right? And this is something that you can apply towards your love life now in the coronavirus season, or even like anything else, anything else. The next thing that you want to do right now is to take the pressure off, take the anxiety off, and start having fun. How can you move forward with no attachment? How can you move forward and relinquish control? How can you move forward and release the need to know what's happening and what's coming next? Now is the time to have fun. What do you do to have fun? Do you even know? Dancing, listening to some good music, thinking about like listening to music from your teenage, like your high school years, maybe your childhood. I find that those are the things that are really um, make me feel good, make me feel like a young girl again. It's getting hot in here. It is getting hot in here. Can I recommend some good books about feminine allure? Mine when it come out? No, but in the meantime, The Surrendered Single is good by a woman named Laura Doyle. Um, there was a book, it was called Fascinating Womanhood from like the 50s. And I will say that it's old. So, it doesn't have a feminist perspective, so, just eat the meat and spit out the bone. But I did like that one. And there was also a book called that by a woman named Helen Anlin, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it was called The Fascinating Girl. I like those books. And I remember reading those books years ago that really kind of sparked my interest to call this thing Feminine Allure and to really spread the message because it was what I needed in the moment. So hopefully that helps, Jessica. hmm So yeah, make it fun. Be bold. Make it fun. Make it fun. That's what you want to do. You have to take the pressure off. Show up in a way that's very enjoyable for you. Show up in a way that you're showing, you're fun and light. You're playful without being a man's plaything. You are present in the moment. You're not the one who's putting the pressure and making the situations really heavy. Because guess what? That's what happens when you actually get in the relationship. Like when you actually get the man, there's one thing to keep the man, attract the man that you want, and there's another thing to keep it. So, as I work with women in the Feminine Allure Academy, that's what we do is really for women who attract men, but maybe they don't commit. If you have no problems attracting men, but you don't have the skills required to progress into the relationship, these steps that I'm sharing with you right now is really what you want to start employing and start applying to your life. Yeah. Because if you begin to put too much pressure on yourself, the energy becomes heavy and it becomes tight. Like in your body, you start to feel the tight energy. So, step number 4, ladies, you got to make your request known. I want you to start being bold now about what you want. All right, so can you see this? Be bold about what you want. The Bible says we have not because we ask not. And that we don't have to be anxious for anything, but through everything in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving to make our requests known. What I realized recently is that even in prayer, like what I realized about myself is that even in prayer, I have these thoughts in my head that I think that even God should know because he knows my heart, because he fashioned me in the womb. He knows my innermost parts. That as I'm thinking these things, that God, so what I speak verbally is, oh, yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I know you're going to do this for me. I know you're going to do this for me. This is happening and this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. But what I have failed to do was to state my case. What I realized that I had failed to do was to make my request known. Just this morning, I was praying with a girlfriend of mine. We get up at 6:30 and we pray together. And I told her, I was like, hold up. I'm feeling distracted right now. right? And I know that the Holy Spirit will give me utterance to ask for what it is that I want and humble my heart so that I can be clear on what it is that I want, which goes back to number one. Knowing is what is it that you want. So in my prayer time today, I said, wait a minute, this is not even making sense for me. What are you asking for? What are you asking for? What is it that you want so that God can grant my request? So that I can go before the throne and lay all my burdens on the altar. Many of us do this not only in prayer, but then we like, please, Lord, yes, bless me, Lord, and call it into prayer. That's not a prayer. That's praise. But we have to be mindful of what we want. And so what I realize is that if I'm doing this to God, I know that I've done this in my relationships. I know that I still have done this with my husband. And I have to be clear and be bold about what I want to the people who matter the most. Okay? What's good about this? What's good about what I'm sharing and what I've said so far? Okay, someone says, me and the gentleman I'm chatting with want the same thing for your future, but does he want it with you? Sounds good, but just be careful and be clear. You can want the same things for your future, but does he want it with you? And do you want it with him? Yeah, so I just want to know what's good about this? What's good about what I'm sharing? What's good about what I've said, especially when it comes to asking and being bold about what you want. And I say that because oftentimes, when we're in relationships, when we start dating, when we start, well, I ain't dating, but when you start dating, when there's a certain someone in your life and you just think that he should call. And next thing you know, you start feeling some kind of way and experiencing this anxiety and this turmoil. And then when he does call, you lash out at him and you reprimand and scold him, thinking that that's going to be the thing to motivate him to change behavior, but it's not. Okay. Luli, I believe that's what it is. Luli. hmm So, so I got a question. I see here. Thank you for asking. So, what if a person has placed their heart's desire on alert, being clear and bold has been the approach after doing this, nothing happens? Okay, so it depends. Like, I would have to hear how you ask for what you want and what being in bold, clear means because, and thank you for bringing this up because when it's done, there's a certain way that you have to approach this. Like all of these tips that I'm sharing with you, they are simple, but they're not easy. Okay, it's simple, but it's not easy. What I mean by that, let's go back to being bold about what you want, right? Asking, speaking up for yourself, expressing yourself in a way that is very clear. Um, coming from a place of invitation and inspiration and not obligating people to do what you want, not using manipulation, asserting yourself and not playing games to avoid asserting yourself. When this is done wrong, it comes across as controlling. Like being bold can come across as controlling. It can come across as bitchy. It can come across as aggressive. It comes across as too direct, as like maybe too professional, too uptight. And so that's the thing that kind of pushes people away. It's like, well, hey, build me up. Why are you telling me this right now? Like, I don't really care about you anyway, to be honest. So if it's done prematurely, especially, it could just disrupt the entire momentum that you probably have been building. But when it's done right though, that's where you feel empowered. You feel inspired. You feel confident. You feel capable. You feel equipped because you know what you feel, right? You know what you want. So you can say what you can ask for what you want. You can say what you want and actually get it because people are clear about what you want. When I think about my daughter Amelia, she's like, no thanks. Cheeseburger, please. you know, Apple fries, please. No thanks, I don't want that. Apple fries, please. And she has like no attachment. She's just showing up as her childlike self. And I just want to do for her. And her father wants to do for her. And so does everyone else. You know? Mm. Should I tell this story? I remember. I'm going to tell it because it's okay. My father-in-law said something to me. I was using the computer and he said something. I was like, oh yeah, yes, please, thank you, or something like that. And so he was like, is that where Amelia gets that from? I said, get what from? He was like, yes, please. He was like, you don't have to say yes, please. You just say yes. And I'm like, you don't want your grandmother to have manners? Her charm will get her further in life than just like a yes. And so he then began to give an example of how he like bought some pie or something. And Amelia was just like, hey, please. And her charm wooed him. He just ended up giving her, what she wanted. And I don't think he had enough for himself. So I say that to say that there is a vibe, there's an energy that's attached to an approach, and you just can't go expressing what you want. Let me tell you that right now, because I've tried it and it can't work. It doesn't work for women like us. You have to shift into your feminine allure, and there are specific practices that you can do before you actually speak up and ask for what you want. It's just like going on a date. You typically can't go from work, like from an office, especially if it's been a hard day, just going on to a date and then pouring and sort of vomiting everything that happened. Nobody don't want to hear about that. You want to come from a place like, wow, this woman is interesting. I want to get to learn more about her. I like the way I feel about myself when I'm around her. Those are the things that you want to begin planting in a man's mind so that you are attractive and you are interesting. And now is the time to start practicing that so that you are ready for love after this lockdown. Okay, so I just want to see. I'm gonna go back and do a recap. How do you not lash out? Isn't that the question of the day? You gotta practice this. You gotta practice your feminine allure. Okay, it's simple, but it's not easy, and you have to condition yourself for this, because typically, if you find yourself lashing out, Miss D, then it means that you have an unmet need, and it's your responsibility to meet that need. But oftentimes, what we women do is that we put the pressure on somebody else, whether it's a guy or whoever. Release that need. Meet that need first, so that you can show up as someone who is more attractive. And not just for the man. This is about you. This is about getting what you want. This is about applying your feminine allure to love and life, your friendships and your job to get what you want. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I was just trying to see, was that helpful, Linda? Yeah. Ladies, when you're clear about, when you go through these steps really quickly as a recap, when you know what you want, when you conquer the inner game, like there's something about knowing what you want and then believing that you can actually have the thing that you want. Hmm. There's a difference between knowing what you want and knowing that it's yours to have. There's a difference between knowing what you want and deciding that you're going to have it. So whether it's a man, whether it's money, whether it's what else is there? A big career, maybe to start your own business, um, children, um, marriage, family. There's a difference between knowing what you want and deciding that you're going to have it, deciding that it is for you. And you have to conquer, number one, you got to know what you want. Number two, you have to conquer the inner game to be able to master that, to get it. One common example that I give is like, okay, let's say you want to raise, you're making 50,000 right now, 60,000 right now, and there's an opportunity to make a six-figure salary, right? Go for a promotion. Well, guess what? You know that you want that, but then in your head, you're like, man, do I even qualify for real? Do I know how to lead a team? Will I feel exposed? People are going to know that I don't really know what I'm doing. Those are the things that comes up. Okay. So number three, you got to have fun with it. You got to have fun with this process. You got to take the pressure off. You got to release the control, release the attachment, right? Be playful, but don't be a plaything. Okay. Be playful, but don't be a plaything now. And there's certain ways that you can let that be known. And it doesn't have to be like, I'm not doing this and I'm not having sex with you and I'm not doing this. Like, who are you trying to prove? Who are you really trying to prove the point to? And what happens is that we put so much pressure, like there's so much pressure that's put on the man to keep us like in line and keep us holy and keep us. And it's like, no, we have to be in vertical alignment with God ourselves for what it is that you want. You have to, like, you got to be groomed for this. This is what I say. Okay, I got two more steps about what you can be doing right now. Please give simple ways of giving off feminine allure. What does it look like? Oh yeah, this is always challenging for me to like just tell you. You have to see it, like you have to feel it. You have to be it. And this is thinking about ways that I can really demonstrate this for you in on YouTube or in my videos. I can give examples. So one of the things that I have my clients do, I just take them through a practice where, hold on. I take them through a practice where I just have them like express, like tell them like, how was your day? And typically what I hear is, so, can anybody get on video? Is that something that we can do? Because I would love to actually do a demonstration. I don't think that's possible right now. But basically, if you say, Monique, well, how was your day? And I'm like, okay, well, I just really prepared for this live stream. It was hot. I had a doctor's appointment. I actually got into a car accident. But I'm okay. I had some good lunch. Yeah, that was my day. All right. So as I'm sharing that with you, like, how does that feel to you? Like, how do you feel about yourself in relation to me when I share that with you in that way? And how do you feel about me when I share, just tell you about my day? And then, because I know this is lagging, and then I can whisper something in a woman's ear that helps her to lighten up, brighten up, soften up. And so if you say, well, Monique, well, tell me about your day. Let me kind of shift into this right now. So you say, okay, well, Monique, tell me about your day. And it's like, I had a beautiful start this morning. I I prayed with one of my best friends, and we got into the spirit and really worshiped together. And that was really great, just to put me on the right foot. And I'm grateful that, I was able to see, visit my doctor, and that baby Gianna Christine, her health is in order and things are well. And I had the most beautiful lunch. And that, my husband fried some fish yesterday. Also, my mother-in-law was able to, I ate a little leftovers, like, what did I had? Roast and some vegetables. And I prepared, just kind of prayed over what I should say to you ladies and what I should teach and give and share. And now I'm here and I'm so happy to be here. Okay. So that is an example of a shift into feminine allure. And you tell me, what did you see? Yeah, so the first one, it was kind of like no life force, low energy, boring, like, you sound boring, right? And the latter was more open, at ease, expressive. It was exciting. I made you smile in the second version, filled with joy. Yeah, relaxed, smiling energy. And how did you feel about yourself in relation to me the second time around? Yeah, how did you feel about yourself in relation to me? And then I want to ask you, like, how did you perceive me? light and joyful peace. Wanted to be with me. Yeah. Felt relaxed. Like maybe like, oh, I want to be her friend. She's so nice. Like she's so cute. She's so alluring. I want to be her friend. I want that to rub off on me. Felt relaxed. Poised and joyful. Wanting to hear more. Yes, yes, yes. So hopefully that is an example of what feminine allure looks like in life. Hopefully that was very helpful to you. Was that helpful? Let me know. But that is an example of how, like, the work that I do with my clients and with the women that I work with in the Feminine Allure Academy. Yeah, so just imagine, ladies, if you had the skills and you're showing up in a way where you feel totally equipped and you have the skills that you're able to shift into your feminine allure and practice this on a regular basis and be in a committed community of women who are similarly situated, and that you can grow in this way together. Like, just imagine what that could feel like for you. Like, what would that do for you? And I say this because, sometimes it can be really difficult, especially as women, to create friendships with other women as adults. If you're not in a controlled environment, if you're not in school and at work, it can be difficult depending on the kind of and the nature of the work that you do. It can be really difficult to want to reveal yourself and show up as your full self, because you got to be polished and professional. You got to put on a little bit. You don't want everybody in your business, you know? So this is available to you. Support is available to you. This is the way that you can step into discovering your influence style. And everyone's is going to be different. So step 5 right now, what you can be doing to prepare yourself for love after lockdown. You got to know your level of influence. Discover your influence style. This is about your feminine allure and knowing that you influence people. And that the way you show up is a testimony for what is possible. Like, you can show up in a way that creates safety, that creates warmth, that is inviting, that is lovable, that is truth. It doesn't have to be like, oh, like, people today are so tainted. They're so jaded. Men today are so tainted. They're so jaded. They don't believe that good women are out there. Yeah, they look the part, but they're not it. They're not it. That's why you have so many men out here doing like pickup lines and MGTOW, like men going their own way. And I was watching the Red Table Talk, and Wale, who's a rapper, if you're not familiar with him, he was on the Red Table Talk, and he was just so jaded, so burnt by his experiences as being a rapper, being a rapper in the music industry. And even though everyone else around the table was loving and saw the benefit and saw the virtue in marriage, he was just like, I don't know, it ain't for me. I don't know. You can just see his brokenness. You can just really see his hurt. And from what he said, it stemmed from, he was afraid that you can be with a good girl, like a woman, and next thing you know, she's gonna leave you for the rapper or whoever, quarterback or whatever it is. I would encourage you to actually watch that episode of the Red Table Talk. Jada Pinkett, the Red Table Talk. But I'm saying that to say that you have influence, love, that you influence men way more than they influence you. I've said it. That's what I say. That's my philosophy. And, men are conditioned to obey women, beginning with their mothers. And so how are you showing up? How are you showing up, right? Without treating men like children. This is where you get to discover your influence style. There are certain practices that you can do, because guess what? The way that I just created that shift to show you what it's like to go from regular, common, basic, the basic woman mindset to more of like the alluring woman operating from the place of feminine allure. Ooh, what was I going to say? Oh, it's going to look different from you. Like, you might share something differently than I would. Your brand of femininity, your brand of feminine allure is going to be different. The key is that you at least want to have the framework and the tools to know how to get into that mode and that way of being, so that you're consistently attracting. You're consistently getting what it is that you want, and you believe that what you want is coming and it's possible for you. Okay? So these are the skills that you need to have. These are the skills that you need to have. And knowing and how you'll feel about yourself determines how you're going to show up. With that, I want to share with you the final thing that you want to start practicing right now is to move powerfully. Move powerfully. Well, what does this look like now? So, for example, I just gave you an example. I gave you an example of what the before and after could look like. But you might say, well, Monique, I'm not really comfortable stepping into my femininity because I don't want to send out the wrong signals. Or, I really want to be taken seriously. Or I don't know how to do this. It feels really uncomfortable. It feels awkward. What else? When it comes to getting a raise, you might say after you've done all the part, you've gotten, like, you've used your feminine allure to secure the deal. It's like, well, someone's going to find out I'm an imposter. I want to feel exposed. Am I even doing this right? What else can come up? Yeah, am I doing a good job? Am I really qualified for this? Will they fire me? So, when it comes to men, it's like, okay, do I really have what it takes to make this thing work? Am I enough for the long term, for the long haul? Will I ever be satisfied? Can I be happy? Can someone be happy with me? Do I even have the skills to make this thing work? Is it possible for me? Because I've never seen it. This is where everything is connected. It goes back to conquering your mindset. And even when you conquer the mindset, conquer that inner game, you got to do the skills to move powerfully throughout and have what you want. You got to cultivate the empowered you so that you don't go back and you don't default to old habits. You don't default to an old way of being. But instead, you have a renewed mind and you feel empowered. Ladies, this is your time. I think about the biblical story of the three servants where the king traveled, where Jesus said that the king traveled and he had given, a bag, like 2 bags to one man, 5 bags to one servant, 2 bags to another servant, and 1 bag to one servant. And so the servant who had gotten 5 bags doubled it. The king traveled, came back, and he said, "Look, master, I doubled your bag of gold." I believe like the one who had 2 bags said, there was an increase. I can't remember how much it was. It was an increase. And then the other one said, the last one who just had 1 bag said, well, I know how frivolous you are. I'm paraphrasing. I know how frivolous you are. And so I kept what you had now and and I didn't do anything with it. So I have what you have given me, but there's no increase in it. And so essentially what happened was that the first 2 gentlemen, like the first 2 servants, were praised and they were honored. And then the last servant, I really can't remember. How does the story go? I don't know if he was like, admonished, pushed to the side. I can't remember. Let me see what happened. Okay, so he was called a wicked and lazy servant. And so he had to take that money and give it to the person who was multiplying it. Give it to the servant who actually multiplied it, who used the time and talents well. That's what they say, to whom much is given, much is required. I'm saying this now because it is the parable of talents. Yes, thank you. What's it like hidden like that? The parable of talents. Thank you. So I'm saying this like now is the time. You are given time. You are given space right now. You are given a mentor to help you. That's me. A mentor to help you along the way. And how are you going to use it? How are you going to use it to be able to go through not only these framework, these pillars, right? These steps to get what you want out of love and life? Are you going to do it alone? Or do you want your Naomi? So this is what I want you to know. I have an assignment for you. I have a question for you. Part of what I want to do is to create a series for how you can begin practicing some of the external beauty. External beauty what? The word, I don't have a word for it right now. But the external skills, the practices, like your beauty initiation. I don't know. I haven't come up with a cool word as yet, but I'm going to start doing some different videos, and I'm saying this to say, like, what is it that you want to see? What would be very helpful to you in the moment? What's come up for me? Maybe do share with you my own prayer practice, share with you my own beauty, my nighttime and my morning routine. But in terms of What would you like to see? What would be very helpful? How can I support you in this in these times? So go ahead and leave that in the comment. Traits. Tell me more. What would you like to see? Role play. Okay, cool. That's cool. Should probably mute myself. So drink. Being assertive with boundaries. Okay, sounds like a role play thing. Resilience for inner what? Miss Indiana, inner peace. I want to start sharing with you even more how you can begin to prepare for what's happening next in this next season. Because the men are going to start coming out the woodwork. They're ready. Like I see people already running outside. And now is the time for you to get clear about what you like. You don't want to miss the mark. You don't want to miss the mark. You don't want things to return to normalcy and there still be a void, still feel like nothing has really changed for you, even though there has been a shift and things are shifting right now. This is your time. So, if what I've said to you today really appeals to you, if what I said today really seems difficult for you to do on your own, then just as a reminder, I want to let you know that the Feminine Allure Academy is open for enrollment. It is my signature program that is only open once a year. And now is your time to enroll. It's really if you have trouble progressing in a relationship, if you don't, if this is your problem, if you don't have trouble attracting men, like men approach you, they're attracted to you, but they don't commit, then this is the solution for you. Okay? Because in this program, not only do you learn how to speak up for yourself and express, like speak in a way that's attractive, you also identify your own sacred beauty marks, right? What makes you the most attractive? I teach you how to form and strengthen relationships with other women. I teach you how to date well and be pursued. I teach you how to stand in your own strength so that you are not flustered no matter what happens. I teach you how to become the woman that you desire to be. And getting clear on what you want so that you feel focused and that you feel secure in how you're moving forward. How to self-evaluate where you are. Okay. If that sounds like something that you want, listen, I just want you to start here. You right now can go. I'm going to answer some questions that I see. I'm going to go back to the chat and answer the questions. But before I do, if you are new to me, if this is like your first time tuning in to me and my channel, I want to encourage you to go to the description box. I have a training. It's called the 5 shifts that my clients have used to find and keep Mr. Right. If you have been familiar with me for some time, then we need to talk. Okay, I want you to book a call. Let's explore the Feminine Allure Academy as an option for you. We've started, but there's still time to join. And this is your moment. This is your moment. No woman is exceptional by herself, right? Most of us have trainers and teachers and coaches in other areas of your life, right? You get education. This is important. This is your life that we're talking about. And there are certain skills that will help you to advance in life and in love. And these skills are not taught in schools. And it's a skill that every woman needs. Every woman needs, period. Okay? So you can go to feminineallure.co/FAA. if you are already familiar with me and you're interested in the Feminine Allure Academy, and let's have a conversation to see if this is the right fit for you. These conversations are geared and they are suited for women who are over the age of 30, women who are tired of the same old, right? You're tired of your inability to progress a relationship. You are ready to invest in yourself to change this around, and you're totally excited about what's to come. Okay, if that sounds like you can go to Feminine Allure /FAA as in Feminine Allure Academy. Okay, so let me go through these and see, are there any questions? And thank you for your interaction, everyone. It makes me feel like, yeah, like I'm not just talking to in front of a camera. What questions do you have? What questions do you have about what I shared tonight? What questions do you have? Comments? What's coming up? Yeah, I like this idea of role play. Miss Hill is too expensive. Well, I get that it's not inexpensive, but depending on what you're going through, it's probably more than the tuition for the program. So what can you do to make it happen? If it's something that you want, what can you do to make this happen for yourself? School is expensive. University is expensive when we find a way to do it. No, you have to be at least 30. I work with women, well into their 50s. So what I was saying was not if you're at least 30 years old and over. I find that my programs and the work that I do are suited for women who are really like, 30 plus. How do you maintain the motivation to keep up feminine allure while staying home all day? Yeah, I mean, this is my struggle. You choose to. You just make a choice. You get up, and that's why I'm going to share my morning routine. Like you get up, you put on a little something, act like you are going out and do something to make yourself feel good. Put on a little makeup, comb your hair, even if you're just sitting around. It will make you feel better about yourself. Because when you look in the mirror and if you see yourself looking frumpy, you may not think that it's having an impact on your psyche, but it impacts your psyche. It impacts how you view yourself. This deserves an offering. Where's the monetary super chat feature? This deserves an offering. Thank you very much, Miss D. I don't know how that works, but you can totally, I received that offering. I received that offering. How can y'all send me money? Monique at Feminine Allure. Monique at Feminine. Send me something through PayPal. Monique at feminineallureacademy.com. That's my PayPal email. Send me some money that way. I don't know. Thank you. How do you work on believing you deserve it? Oh my gosh, that's way more than we can get to in what I've shared tonight, but you can't do it alone. Cash App. I don't have Cash App, y'all. Hold on, let me. Cash App. I don't have Cash App. Oh gosh, do I have Cash App? I do got Cash App. I forgot. I do have Cash App. Let me tell you what my handle thing is, if I even remember. Okay, Cash App $ Monique Cherise, SHERYCE. Oh, look at this. Don't have me out here putting this Cash App thing up. Y'all not real. Hold on. Monique, MONIQUE, SHERYCE. So yeah, if this really served you, thank you for that, ladies. If this really served you, you want to do an offering, I totally accept that. Thank you so much. You can Cash App me, Monique Cherise, SHERYCE. Okay, so working on your mindset. How do you work on believing you deserve it, right? So there's some inner work, like some tools that have to be done on the inner work. We gotta dig deeper than that. I mean, on the outside, as a way to start, you have to affirm yourself. You can listen to different affirmations. You can read different books to improve your mindset. Um, I mean, you can start looking at stuff on YouTube about how to boost and build your belief, but it's only going to get you so far. So if you feel like you're not at a point where you are ready for mentorship, and like just find something. I think this book, I haven't read it, but everyone's talking about it. It's called "You Are a Badass" by Jen Sincero. Start with something like that. I cannot affirm or deny that book, but it's popular. A lot of people are talking about it. Okay, so what other questions do you have? And what kind of videos would you like for me to make? FEMI. If you're interested in the Feminine Allure Academy, that's the link right there. All right, ladies. So it's 7:07 p.m. Central Time. I just want to go back and look at this. See what I missed. If there are any other questions. How do you let go of what you know is not right? I'm having a hard time of letting go of someone I know who is not my husband. Who is not a husband. Excuse me. Everything really starts with a decision and your own self-worth. So my question to you would be like, if you let go, what are you afraid of losing? I would start there. That's from Wadzanai Nyowo. Yeah, if you let go of this man who's not right, what are you afraid? Like, what do you lose when you let go? Once you have that question, that's where the revelation will begin to unfold. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, I did that. Okay. I see a lot of comments. Thank you so much. What's at the heart of my motivation? Okay, so that's a self-inquiry. I just need to be more confident in myself. Well, it's easier said than done, Kimberly. How do you expect to be confident in yourself if you're not already confident in yourself? That's not something that you can do alone. That's why you have to invest in mentorship. What should we be doing while we're in quarantine? You got to go back and watch the replay, girlfriend. You tell us what to do, but not how to do it. Well, I can't give you all my goods. That's what I teach in the program. Hello. She said exactly how to use feminine allure. I gave you an example of what that looks like. Exactly how to attract or date. You tell us what to do. So Lady Grace 86 said, you tell us what to do, but not how to do it. What actions do we take? Well, first of all, start with what I already shared here. And if you want to go deeper, that's what the Feminine Allure Academy is about. And it's not like I'm trying to withhold information. Let me just address this because this just kind of came up in my spirit. It's not like I'm trying to withhold information, but I know that what I share, what I have is good information. And to be honest with you, I don't like sharing my stuff if you're not going to use it. And too many people out here looking for freebies, looking for little crumbs, and they're not really ready. They're not driven enough. They're not ambitious enough to take action. They only do things that make them feel good in the moment. And then 2 days later, 2 weeks later, you're still back at square one. If you don't pay, you don't pay attention. So, like, go ahead and continue watching all these little freebie stuff and get what you can get, but it's not taking root. And so everyone's like, how can I do this? How can I be more feminine? How can I do these things? And you're Googling to try to find information. You're still not satisfied. Ladies, you're not going to get what you want if you don't make the investment, period. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and take yourself seriously enough to get some support, to get access to a framework, get access to a real system. How often are the Feminine Allure Academy sessions? Well, the program is only open once a year, and we meet on Thursday evenings. Great question. So, does the allure have the same impact after years of marriage, or are there levels to allure after the ring? Does it wear off? That's a great question. I wouldn't say that there are levels to the allure. I think that the issues and the concerns that you have as a single woman are very different than a married woman. And so I believe that especially when you're married is a time like you really got to practice it. This is what I'm finding for myself is that, okay, Monique, sometimes my husband is like, feminine allure exposed. I'm going to tell your clients. And I'm like, it's too late. So I say that to say that, does it wear off? It can wear off if you don't practice it. Feminine allure is not something that you just do at one time and it's in you, right? That's why I work with women specifically for 1 year, because if not, you will default to going to your old way of being. Feminine allure is a practice. It's a condition. You don't just go to the Olympics and think you're going to show up and you ran, you ran a marathon, so you think you're going to win. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to train and you have to condition yourself for this. You have to practice. You have to be introspective. You have to have skills. You have to have accountability so that you don't get bogged down. You don't disengage and give up. So feminine allure really is about not giving up on yourself. Because sometimes when you get the man, we kind of lose it a little bit. We're like, okay, I feel safe. I got what I want. I can tone it down a little bit and start focusing on something else. But you know what? It is the game has to go up. Pardon me. The game has to go up. What I'm finding, especially as a married woman, like whatever I was doing before, hey, I got to take it to the next level now that I'm a wife. Not only for my husband, for myself, so that I can feel good about how I'm showing up. Especially now that I have 2 daughters. Oh my gosh. After this cycle next year in 2021. Yeah, so when's the next opening is going to be next year. Yeah, yeah. So I hear you, Lady Grace. I mean, it's true. Some women are driven and willing to take the action, but I also know because I consider myself a very driven woman, and I still only come to a certain point where it's like I cannot. I still hit a brick wall. I have lots of information online. There are lots of tools online. But if you're not finding what you really need, if you've gotten to that level where you're like, okay, I still need help, then you have to do what you have to do to get the support that you need. I do have a program that meets for a quarter of the year. It's a fairly new program that I introduced last year, which is really great results. And it's called Attract the Man You Want. That won't be open until November of 2020, so November of this year. Um, and it's a 12-week program, a relationship readiness program. So I only have 2 ways. If you would be interested, that's what I'm also curious about what you ladies want. Is it like a monthly call at a very affordable rate, where I give you an action step and then we do a Q&A? Is that something that you would want? All right. So I'm getting ready to, let me just leave an opportunity to answer these questions and take it from there. Yeah. 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 So ladies, this has been fun. I want to do this more often. This has been fun. I thank you for showing up for yourself. I acknowledge you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for engaging and participating in this. I want to encourage you to share this still, share the recording. It's going to be available here on the YouTube channel. Share this with just 2 women that so that you can add value to another woman's life, especially in these times. Um, Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, ladies, this has been wonderful. I thank God for you. Um, and yeah, I just want to encourage you to operate with the spirit of positive anticipation for what's coming next, but also to do your part. Yeah, I want to encourage you to do your part. So, last thing, go ahead and just, if you have not watched it already, go ahead and click on the link below in the description box. It's a masterclass, the 5 simple shifts my clients have used to find and keep Mr. Right. If you haven't watched that already, I want to encourage you to go ahead and tune into it. But if you have watched that because you are familiar with me and my work, then let's talk about what you want. Let's talk about joining the Feminine Allure Academy and what that's going to take. Okay, and we can just take it from there. All right, ladies. So this has been wonderful. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this time. Um, Thank you for the movement, oh Lord. Thank you for the shift that's happening. And Heavenly Father, I pray for the women who are under the sound of my voice, whether they're live here or under the recording, oh God, that you will, number one, continue to guide them and protect them, oh Lord. That you will empower them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Heavenly Father. And that they don't waste away the time, that any ideas that you have placed in them, any desires to move forward, oh God, that those will not be squandered, but they will act on those swiftly and with courage, Heavenly Father, and with boldness. So, yeah, thank you, Lord Jesus. I just want to come with the spirit of praise and gratitude. And so I just thank you for what you're doing, what you have done, and what you will continue to do in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right, ladies, have a beautiful evening, and hopefully we'll be talking soon. Take care. God bless. Bye.